Good evening, community. We are off. Today was day 6, and it's an exciting time in our school district when you welcome new students back. I feel like we've had a really great start, whether that's the Inspired Ed conference that teaching and learning staff put on, or the new staff welcome that I hear myself in the back. It's all good. It's all good. Whether it's the new staff orientation that HR put on, all of those things culminated in the first day of school, and we are with the record enrollment as we have been the last 5 or 6 years, and just really exciting. Have had a chance to visit all of our 13 locations. Kids seem to be happy, teachers are happy, and we are working on the work now, where it really begins, the teaching and learning that takes place inside of our classrooms. Excited, I know tonight we've got our first varsity football scrimmage and softball games that are being played, volleyball games, lots of exciting things, whether that's at the high school level or the middle school level. So good stuff going on there, and we'll keep working on the work. So, Mr. Hooper, I hope you have some good news with PR for once.
Oh, I almost touched the mic again, technology. I'm going to ignore that comment. The good news about PR going first is you start at the bottom and it gets better from here. So that is good. So I shared these numbers with Dr. Brown the other day, and he thought it'd be good to share. We talk about, obviously, how we share our message, and social media plays a big part in that. And so the numbers are kind of staggering sometimes when you look at them. From September 1 to August of last year to August 1 this year, we gained 1,300 followers on Facebook, almost 1,400 followers. That's pretty substantial when you think about, you know, you have over 14,000 followers on Facebook now. When you look last August, 91,000 accounts reached. July is usually our least attractive month to get messages out on social media until really the end of the month. And this July, we reached 143,000 accounts. So the attention is certainly there on our school system when it comes to social media. And then same with Instagram. We added 1,000 followers in less than a calendar year on Instagram, and a lot of those are our students at the secondary level. And so when we post something at that high school level, those kids usually eat it up on Instagram, like announcing graduation dates yesterday. But again, it gained another 1,000 on Instagram, and you see the reach there, from 8,500 last August to 14,000 in the month of July. So it just shows that our social media reach is really expanding. People are paying attention, and it just allows us to get messages out, at a really good rate. So next thing is save the dates. There we go. Save the date for our 4th annual Teacher and Support Person of the Year banquet. That'll be Thursday, September 25th at 6 o'clock in the Bradsland Civic Center. Ms. Todd and I have called in a favor that there will be no hurricane this year, and therefore no Dr. Brown in our ear going, "Hurry up, the hurricane's coming," which happened last year. And so we're going to have a record number of honorees this year, with Heroes having their first ever Teacher and Support Person of the Year there. So it'll be 30 people being honored this year, which is really great. That includes, of course, our 3 Bus Driver of the Year finalists and our Central Office Support Person of the Year. And so looking forward to a great night. Obviously, all the businesses that are getting involved in Foundation play a huge part in making that banquet a great night. And so we look forward to having that again this year. And then I added one real late this afternoon. We did release this information yesterday on social media, our 2 class of 2026 commencement ceremonies. Of course, that'll be again at Aikens Ford Arena in Athens. The only change this year is East Jackson will go first at 10 a.m. and Jackson County High School will go at 3 p.m. So we were able to share that out, and that allows obviously a long time to plan for our families, and rehearsals will be that Friday before. So looking forward to another great time to celebrate the record number of graduates we'll have again this year. So any questions? All right, I promise the presentations get better from here. So thank y'all.
All right, well, good evening. It's great to see everyone. It has been a really exciting week. It's so much fun to welcome everybody back and just see all the excitement in the kids' faces and with our teachers and admin. And the first thing I wanted to share with you is just the excitement that we were able to share together at our Inspired Conference, 2nd annual, and just want to thank you for all of your support for that. Some of you were there, and just the support of a whole team. You can't pull something like this off without a whole team working together. So from all of the different members of different departments working together, and our school admin really championing that event and just making it a really positive thing for their staff. It's just a neat time to be together and to have kind of that synergy in the room. As you know, there's a spirit component of Inspired, and so East Jackson Elementary was they're the defending champs. They were two-time back-to-back winners of the spirit competition. So it's really fun to see those schools go all out, have fun with it. You know, the principals, they've got their face painted and they're all into it throughout the day, pumping up their staff, and it's just a neat way to get started. And so just to give you a little overview of it, first of all, we have a super cool app, and I want to give lots of credit to Lisa Wilbanks. As you know, she's extremely innovative in all things technology, but she's really the mastermind behind the organization. And so our teachers and leaders were able to select from 248 sessions throughout the day, and we had presenters that ranged from our own Jackson County teachers and leaders, district leaders, outside folks from Northeast Georgia RESA and the DOE. We had a lot of our DOE content specialists and specialists there, and it's just neat to make that connection and put a name with a face. And then we had presenters from universities, of course, our keynote, which was awesome, and being able to recognize those grant winners. So just so much positivity. And I think one of the things that our teachers love about that day is that they get to choose their sessions. So that while they have a couple of required sessions, they get to choose based on their interests and their needs. And we're also able to kind of wrap in some sessions for our new teachers and our induction teachers. So it was just a great way to meet a lot of needs on one day and to do it in such a positive way. And so thank you again to our sponsors. Everybody got a free Chick-fil-A lunch, which makes everybody very happy. And then this is just a little feedback from our folks. You can read through that. But so much positive feedback. And even for our people who this was like their second day of pre-planning, if they joined us from another district, they really loved that opportunity to make connections across schools and be a part of that. So it's one of those days you just kind of soak it in, and you just feel fortunate to be able to be a part of a team who can do something like that. So thank you to everybody involved. And then we have another policy update tonight. So I wanted to bring to you, this is in response to SB 351, Protecting Georgia's Children on Social Media. And so this is kind of the first layer of this, and it requires an update to the policy, and there's been a lot of state and RESA collaboration around just making those updates to our acceptable use policy. So this is going to lay on the table for a month. You also have access to the actual updates to policy IFBG. And so just want to kind of take you through the pieces of that. It's really just focused on having really intentional use of our technology and really clear instructional goals. And this is really perfect timing as we think about just the rise of AI and all of the pieces that our kids are exposed to. It's really about just forming a great partnership with parents and protecting our children when they're using internet for instructional purposes and being very clear about those intended uses. So most of the pieces of this we already had in place. As you know, we've had our GoGuardian filter in place for about 5 years now, so that's a component that we already had in place. And we really have been already doing all of those digital citizenship lessons. That's another piece of this. But so it doesn't really require a shift in our practice. It's just really clarifying that. And so this will be there for your review. And then once we approve this policy, we'll have to actually submit it to the State Board of Ed and DOE, and it has to be on file by October 15th. So once all of that happens, then we'll push that out to our parents and have some communication about that. And the state has also provided a resource to help educate parents, and that resource is called Parent Protect. So everybody has a free login to that, and Ms. Kofke and Ms. Wilbanks have been working with our media specialists. They're kind of our liaisons at the school, so they'll be doing some professional learning around that parent resource, and then we'll be working together just to communicate those pieces out to our families. Any questions about that one? All right. And then just wanted to give you a quick update on the Georgia Literacy and Dyslexia Act. They've changed that and combined it all into HB 307. So just to let you know that we had 100% of our teachers and leaders complete those Georgia literacy modules last year. So that's really something to be proud of. That was a lot of extra time. And not only did they complete the modules, but every school had focused professional learning together as a staff in their faculty meetings throughout the year last year, just to really get into conversation and apply that. So that has happened already, and then we have a plan for any new teachers who might need to be a part of that this year to go through that. And then we just finished recertifying our high quality materials again. No change in those materials, we just have to go through that process each year. And also wanted to make you aware of the fact that we have adopted what the state identified as the highest scoring dyslexia screener. And so we'll be moving from Acadience, which was our previous screener, to Amira. And that window opens next week. The great benefit of this, we're always working to streamline assessment and to have the most time that we can have for instruction with students. Is it's very time efficient, and it provides a lot of really rich data, but the teachers can screen that whole class in about 20 minutes as opposed to it taking quite a long time with Acadians. So this is a little bit of a shift. We'll work through that together with our MTSS team and our leaders and our teachers, but everybody's really excited about that. And because it is the state adopted screener, there's a lot of professional learning and a lot of support for it. So we'll keep you posted on that. I just wanted you to be aware of that shift. And then Mr. Schultz, if you'll come on up.
Let me just ask
Oh
one
yeah,
thing
go ahead.
before you go any further. You mentioned something about we had to have approval update of some.
Of our high quality literacy resources each year. We just have to sign off. Remember, we bundle our materials into a core program, so it's just signing off on all of those pieces that we use, Hagerty, Foundations, our interactive read alouds, all of those pieces that make up our high quality materials for the state. So those are just the components. It has the professional learning component, the high quality materials, and then the screener. Yep, so everything's on track with all of those pieces. All right, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Schultz for a moment for our CTAE update and approval. Go.
Well, I appreciate you letting me come up today to talk about the CTA program. Each year, our program has to be approved by the Board of Education through the local application. Go over the different things that we got, show you how we're doing in terms of our performance, and really kind of just put it on for the year. Going through the Jackson County, I'm sorry, I got different glasses and it's hard for me to see from far and different. But one of the things we have to do every year is we have to do a local application. Now it's a consolidated application that does I apologize, the certification process, and we look at the labor market. We look at the size scope, which is actually the number of pathways that we offer to our students, the credentials of value, which is our EOPAs that we discuss. We also look at the facilities, which we've been working on that very much through our industry certification programs. We look at our CTSOs, which is also our number of students that are participating in those CTOs. We also want to recruit and retain our teachers. I mean, and that's something that I know HR has been working extremely hard on, and I appreciate the work that we've been doing with those. And equity and access, that's really for all of our students in STEP. We don't want anybody to feel like they cannot participate in our different events. We also look at the actual individual needs of our programs and our communities. I'm excited to kind of go over some of those things that we were discussing, what's in our local application. All of our pathways that we got right now, this is at all the middle schools. We're excited that we actually have we have started our FACS program back up at East Jackson Middle School. So we've got that lab up and running, and we're excited to have the teacher going there. We were doing 8th grade. Ms. Ware was teaching 8th grade at the time, but now we're actually doing 6th and 7th also. So all of our middle schools are equitable across the whole district. We're also at East Jackson and Jackson County are very, very similar in that stuff. And part of the thing is just the space at Jackson County for some of the programs, as you know, with the number of students that were coming in. But one of the things that's really exciting too is all the opportunities that we are now allowing these students to participate with Empower. Empower has been a very lifesaver in terms of continually gaining and y'all were right with the automotive, and we're excited about that, and the students are too. The nice thing is we always say we want these students to come out of our programs employed, enlisted, or enrolled, and we want to be able to give them the skills that either say, hey, I like it or I don't like it. That's important too. If they're going on to post-secondary or going right to the jobs. One of the things too, as we talked about, is on certification programs. We're not doing any programs this year, but we will be applying this stuff at the end of the year for mechatronics, hopefully for next year. But we're excited about the number of programs that we do have industry certification. That will last 5 years. On your data sheet, if you wanted to pull them and more, it will actually list those same ones and kind of the timeline that goes along with that. But we will continue working with industry certification. I know the teachers sometimes cringe a little bit when they have to go through it. It's a lot of pulling data and everything, but when they finish, I'll be honest, the teachers really know where they're at, know where their students are at, and also we get funds and that stuff to help with the programs too. So we're excited about continuing that. One of the things too is the number of students that we have participating in our CTSOs. CTSO is Career, Technical, and Student Organizations. We're excited about the number of programs that we have. Very important is these CTSOs are actually intracurricular. It's a little different than an extracurricular activity. It's not like, you know, some little club after the end of school. It's something that our teachers actually instruct inside their curriculum that they teach. So like FFA does agriculture, FBLA does your business entrepreneurship, FCCLA does the food science, FIRST robotics, and it goes with computer science and the engineering, HOSA's healthcare. CTI is our career tech instructions, which also works with our special ed. It's the students that are actually in our CTAE programs where Mr. Morrison and that stuff is and Ms. Garrett goes in and works with those students individually in our CTA classes. We've had extremely good luck with those students and the number of students that pass their classes and are successful in those pathways. I think that's even assisting and helping the students finish more pathways. We are very excited. We started the Engage program this last year. We kind of did a soft rollout. That is in our government and public administration pathway. Students in government and administration pathway, they also, besides finishing a pathway, there's 3 courses, they can actually earn a government credit and an economics credit by taking the 3 classes in that pathway. So students really benefit all the way around with those graduation requirements for students to graduate. Engage, we're excited. We're working on a grant with them. They're actually going to be able to send students to actually going to Washington, D.C. and things like that. So we are working on that, and hopefully I'll have some really great news here at the end of this year too. Of course, our JRTC program is continuing being strong. We're really strong on Raiders, and also we're doing drill and ceremony and also doing the rifle team at both East Jackson and Jackson County Schools. Skills USA, of course, and then also TSA was a brand new association we just started, or intercurricular one that we started last year, and that is with our mechatronics program here. One of the things that we decided we did not want to empower competing with both of the base schools with any organizations or even the students participating in them. So mechatronics, we went with TSA. Our computer science and engineering, we went with the FIRST robotics. It was a way to separate those things out for those students. The nice thing, we had 1,126. We want to continue growing on that, but that's a 10% increase of last year of students participating in these organizations. It's exciting to see the students when you go to the schools and ask them and see the leadership development in all these too. The credentials of value, those are our EOPAs. These are credentials that students actually earned. And it was something, and I was talking with Dr. Peacock even earlier and that stuff, 354, that's a lot. But I mean, one thing I'm even more excited about, and you can go to the data sheet and actually see the different credentials that the students earned. We're passing 70.1% of the EOPAs that we give. And to be honest, those credentials are not just easy, like tests at the very end of a course. I mean, we are actually graduating students that are pharmacy technicians, clinical medical assistants, certified phlebotomists. I mean, these students, we actually did the base certification last year is through our biotech program, and that is usually a college-based, or it's a college credential that students earn when they're in college, and our passing percentage was around 85%, which was more than most of the colleges and that stuff, which is pretty cool. So, I mean, these kids, those level of students that they're at, they're not just passing a test, okay? This is something that hopefully we continue going on. Some of the ones, to be honest, that we probably had the lowest percent pass rate on, that our actual passing percentage, if you took those tests that may not be matched equally with the actual course we're teaching, I think our passing rate would even be so much higher. The state mandates what EOPA goes with each pathway, and they're working on it. We're supposed to be getting a list here soon of additional pathway assessments that we can use for our pathways, and we'll continue to always gauge and look. We don't want to just have a credential. We want something that's useful, and that's one of our goals, is always have something there for the students. This is exciting too, we always talk about core indicators. There's a difference between Perkins 5 and core indicators. Perkins 5, what they do is they actually use the data from all graduates, not just your 12th graders. But it's exciting that we have met or exceed all the core indicators that are our targets. The only one that we are very close, but we're within the 90%, and so we met our target, was actually the mathematics. But we exceeded the state by over 8% from where they're at. But I was really excited on that. There's not very many systems out there that have that one. As we keep going, our programs, we're going to continue using our funds for actually our hand-on labs or equipment and supplies, and also continue to get business input. We're talking about increasing our student organizations, the numbers of students that participate, and also one of the things we're very excited on, and at the Inspired Conference, our teachers did a kickoff. We're starting a program called the You're Hired program, which is going to be really focusing on those professional skills. The very first standard in every CTA class is actually a professional skills standard, but it's really hard to gauge work ethic. How do you give a grade to a student on work ethic? And when we did the needs assessment last year, the number one thing that came back from our community was students, or all employees, I should just say students, employees need professional skills, or those soft skills. So we're going to try our best to get these implemented and actually try to give a certification type deal at the end of their third pathway course, where students could put it on their resume that they participated in learning these different values. But overall, our programs are continuing to grow, and we're continuing to strive as much as we can for continual improvement. But if you have any questions.
If we could go back.
Yes,
to the
ma'am.
core indicator.
Yes.
Data page. I was looking at this earlier. What is the non-traditional?
Good
program?
question. Very good.
Because, I mean, I know we're making progress.
Yes.
But that is
Well,
not good.
I'll be honest. Okay, non-traditional would be a male nurse.
Oh, okay.
It would be sometimes it's females in engineering. Okay.
Oh,
It's
okay.
non-traditional of the number of people that are in the industry across the nation,
Oh,
the
okay.
opposite gender.
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
One of the things, and I'll be honest, when your target is only 7%, I don't put a lot of value. I always want the kids to go in whatever they want. And we
Yeah.
want to make sure, what we want from us is we do not want any limitations. If there's any student that wants to go in any program, it shouldn't matter their gender or whatever.
Sure.
So we're going to continue putting that. We do get speakers to come in for engineers and things like that that are female engineers. We had a female instructor in our architectural and engineering class, so things like that we can help. We don't want any person to ever get, but you're right.
Yeah,
It's an interesting thing because we can't even ask the gender anymore, but we still have to
Yeah,
grade it.
Okay, well, I was just curious.
So-
I don't know what that means.
No, good question. Very good question. Thank y'all.
Okay, well,
Good evening. I am excited to be here this evening and give you some updates on HR. As of today, we are 99% filled for our classroom positions. We have 3 certified teaching positions open right now. They are 3 special education positions, but only one of those is covered by a sub, because we actually did it to ourselves. 2 of those positions, we promoted some phenomenal teachers into special education specialists. And right now, they are doing both jobs. They are still in the classrooms with their children, but they're also helping Ms. Barrow with SPED training. And so just thankful for those principals and those teachers for being flexible. And we're working really hard to help them with that transition. But for right now, they're staying put for with the kids, and we do have 1 sub, and hopefully by Monday we'll have a solution for that as well. So, but 99% is pretty good compared to some of my colleagues around us. They're not able to say that, so we're very pleased. We only have a few vacancies left in our operations department. 99% of our bus driver positions are currently filled. That is huge. So a huge kudos to Mr. Peterson. 100% of our facilities positions are filled. So that's custodians, maintenance. Huge kudos to Mr. Farmer and Mr. Shiver. School nutrition is 88%. They are almost there. It is 13 vacancies right now, but you would not know it. Our kitchens are running just as smooth as ever. You would not know that they're running in some places a little understaffed, and we met with Ms. Blake this week, and we've got a recruitment plan in place to help her build a pool of applicants. There's some social media posts that went out this afternoon, and we're working hard to get those taken care of. And so that data is definitely a reflection of all of the hard work of the supervisors and the principals and the thoughtful hiring efforts that we have had. And thank you to you, the board, again, for allowing us to hire early, because being able to hire early has been a game changer, and that's how we can be at 99%. So thank you for that. But a great hiring season is just that. It's a season. So our goal is not just seasonal success, but continued and sustained success. And so now we're back to our focus on strategic plan with retention and focusing on our employees. So we have a goal related to employee recognition, and that is something that we are very excited about. Our Teacher and Support Person of the Year program over the past 4 years has grown into just an amazing program, where the banquet is probably the highlight of my year in terms of being able to celebrate the outstanding educators we have. So why limit it to that? So I'm happy to let you know that we are going to launch a new program this year. I gave you a little 1-pager about it for you to look over, but it's going to be the Extra Mile Award. And this award is designed to celebrate employees, teachers, support staff, administrators, others who consistently go above and beyond the expectations of their role. So they're the people who stay late to help a student, step in to support a colleague, go the extra mile just to help create that awesome experience that we have here in Jackson County. And what makes this award exceptionally, or makes it special, is that it's peer nominated. So it will be any employee can nominate their colleague, their peer, or a fellow staff member about things that they've seen them do. So oftentimes there's lots of things that happen that we never see or a principal never sees. So we are going to launch this program in September. We're going to get through our Teacher of the Year and Support Person of the Year. We'll take nominations in September, and we will be able to name our first Extra Mile winner at the October Board of Ed meeting. So we're extremely excited about that, partnering with the foundation to hopefully be able to recognize those teachers in a special and meaningful way, or whoever is nominated to go the extra mile. We just believe that that's going to help us honor all of the wonderful and awesome things that are going on, and recognizing and shouting out those individuals who make us a great place to work is something that I think is very valuable and worth our time and effort.
So that'll be one from each school then?
It's just going to be one for right now.
Oh, for the whole system?
For the whole system. And then if we're getting tons and tons of nominations, we may have to revamp it, but we're going to just do one per month for right now. And we'll have a, Yes, ma'am, one per board meeting, October through May. And we'll have a little committee that reviews all of the nominations and makes a determination. And if we see that we're getting bombarded with nominations, you better believe I'll come up with some other award that we'll start giving out too, because I think it's just important. But one per month at every board meeting. Kind of like we do our Rotary Student of the Month. It'll be almost like the Extra Mile Employee of the Month. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Good evening, Board. Dr. Brown, thanks for the opportunity to come up tonight and just talk a little bit about our outstanding social worker team and the great job that they did at our school supply and backpack giveaway. So I think this was our 4th annual year doing it. We served over 235 students and families from Jackson County, and we were able to give away every single item that was donated for the drive. We received a large number of supplies like notebook paper, composition books, colored pencils, Sharpies, sticky notes, folders, binders, and other items on our school supply list. Backpacks of all sizes were handed out, and each was filled with a full list of supplies for the needed grades from pre-K through 12. In addition, we were able to provide classroom essentials like Clorox wipes, paper towels, baby wipes, tissues, copy paper, and hand sanitizer. It was really cool to see how grateful and excited all the students and parents were as they walked away with their supplies for the school year. A huge thank you goes out to 12 Stone Church, Seasoned Saints, Bethlehem Church, Williams-Sonoma, our local Girl Scouts, North Jackson Elementary, and other anonymous donors who donated over 235 backpacks filled with supplies. Also, representatives from these organizations came out the morning of the event to volunteer and hand out supplies. And there's just no way we could have gotten it done without all those amazing volunteers. So also just want to say that our team and our social workers led by Rachel Duke are already talking about next year and how we can make this event even bigger and better. We served 235 families at a minimum, but there was a long line of people that wanted to come and needed that help. And so I think we have some great ideas for how we can serve even more people in the community next year. Thank you.
Evening, Dr. Brown, Board. I'd like to thank Mr. Gass for his leadership in that backpack drive and for the hard work of our social workers who give of their time and their hearts to the families in our community. Grateful for what they do. I have an opportunity to talk a little bit about enrollment, which is almost like a broken record when I get up here to talk to you, but we're growing, and we kind of predicted that would happen, and we weren't wrong. So our number as of today is 11,522 Panthers and Eagles joining us in 13 buildings here on our campuses here in Jackson County, and we're excited to have them all. That, folks, is an increase of about 339 from this time last year, and an increase of 2,272 students over the last 4 years. First day counts there, just to make that point clear to you. We've seen exponential growth certainly at Jackson County High School this year with 183 new students over this time last year. East Jackson High School saw an addition of 50 students. West Jackson Middle is up 51. Legacy Knoll is up 27. We've just got growth all around. So we are excited for that, and we've got teachers that are excited to see them, and our buildings are ready. Grateful for your leadership in that as we welcomed over 11,500 students to Jackson County this year. Any questions about enrollment? And 40 plus still in the queue, is that right, Ms. Wilson? So applications that aren't quite completed that we're working through. So we may have a few more to add to this in the next week or two. So.
And Board, we built all of our personnel projections as well as our bus routes, food service. We built it around the 11,500 number. So we were not far off from that projection, but feel good about what you'll see. Some like 1155 at West Jackson Elementary School became a 1,112 to start the year this year. That was a result of a pre-K class being moved from one school to another. But you'll also see there, I think it points out the planning that this board has done and staff have done. If you look at the growth at Gum Springs Elementary, West Jackson Elementary, and North Jackson Elementary, it just shows especially at Gum and West Elementary, it shows the planning of, breaking ground on 3 additional schools, that is the hot spot, is where the growth is taking place. If you look at that West Middle number there, I think we all remember when West Middle was over 1,500 students, and we see it continuing to creep up, as well as that bottom number from Jackson County High School. And that number is that's a challenge for us right now, and the fact that growth is in such a dense location in our community, and it's taking place just in one hot spot, that it's happening really quickly. And I don't think anybody that's driving around and looking in our community right now sees the growth that's taking place, and it's just evident in these numbers as well.
Well, and I guess, with all the mobile units that we have at Jackson County High School, that's all working.
They are, yes. Mr. Farmer did a great job getting those up and running, and it's been a huge blessing for the staff there to be able to have that space for students to be able to utilize for the next year or so. Yes, ma'am. So I believe they're very happy with the addition that was made, and hoping in a couple of years to see them go.
They're much nicer than they used to be.
Well, some of our teachers on some of our campuses are like, "Can I get one of those?" Yes, they're not bad.
So they're nice.
Yeah, they are. The next piece for you is, I believe you have a copy of the contract for our SROs for this year, and we're prepared to, with your approval, to enter into that contract with the county to ask for up to 15 SROs so that our buildings will be adequately covered and protected. Our students and staff will have that extra protection from law enforcement, and we're grateful for that partnership with our sheriff and with our county to make that happen for our students in the community. So I encourage you to look over that. If you have any questions about it, please let myself know or Dr. Brown. Anything else for me? Appreciate y'all. Thanks so much.
Good evening, Board. So we are full speed ahead into a new fiscal year and school year, and it's really hard for me to believe that the first month of this fiscal year is already passed, and we're a week into the next. So it's like every time I blink my eyes, it's another month's passed by. But as you can see, our SPLOST looks great this month. It was above all measures, month over month, year over year, and 12-month average. So it was a nice little bump and deposit for SPLOST this month. So I guess the summertime travel and people being home kind of created opportunities to shop a little bit, which is great for us. And then we can look at our financials. And of course, with the beginning of the year, you'll see that our income is a little bit lower than where we are at this point in the year, but that's typical because we haven't started getting in our property tax revenue for this year. But overall, we're at a good place. We are 1% over at this point in the year, but again, like I like to remind you, there are so many annual renewals that happen during July, so it kind of skews things for just a little bit, but then we start evening out over the year. And then we can look at our fund balance comparison, and of course, our goal was to rebuild that fund balance after we used some of that to complete Heroes and Legacy, and so that is our continued goal, is to keep focusing on that fund balance and building it, because instead of 2 new schools, in the next 3 years, we'll have 3 new schools that will be opening and the expenses that go along with that. Any questions? Okay.
I will say one thing, we expect to have the final digest any time now, and we will have a presentation on the final budget in September, as well as military recommendations.
Dr. Brown, Board, I appreciate the opportunity to bring you some facilities updates. One of the things that is very important to us and we're very pleased with was the auto lab. Students were able to come in there the first day and go ahead and hit the ground running. So we're very proud of the completion and the hard work that went into that through Carol Daniel and team. And still working on some closing out of MEPs, but very excited about that and renovation. So we continue to work hard in wrapping that up. Next slide, please. The K-12 project is well underway. We have received our permits and waiting our 14-day period. Monday, we will begin the erosion control measures that are already on site and ready to go, weather permitting. And the BP2 plans and package are also being worked on and should be sent out for bid in late August, and will come in around the end of September. And we'll have those results when that takes place. Any questions? East Jackson Middle School, oh, well, we can talk about that, but I'm not sure that I'd be the one to do that. But East Jackson Middle School synthetic turf field at East Jackson High is nearing completion. I think some of the takeaways are that the lights will be around August the 15th, and we're very excited about what this will do for that community, and just the ability to use such a very well-built field, and it's a game changer once again, and it's very evident to see that in these pictures. And Board, we appreciate your support in doing that. Well, we, you know, anything's possible. Anything. We might. We might need to go to the next slide now, so we'll move on. Yes, sir.
I was over yesterday, got to see it for the first time, and it is very impressive. If you have not seen it, go to East Jackson. It is a game changer. I know that community is going to be very happy once it's completed.
Right, I agree.
Good job.
They've done a good job, everybody involved, and we appreciate that. The Heroes Playfield, this is a picture. You can see the amount of rain that we've received, but the concrete transition from the Heroes side to the actual playfields has been complete, and as soon as it dries out, we will begin sod and irrigation installation and try to get that wrapped up so we can get people on it. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. We basically what we did is put drainage in for that culverts, and that concrete transition goes from that lip curve, which is tapered down, and it'll be a smooth transition over. And we did not get a picture of that, but I'll get a picture for next time. Yes, sir. Any other questions? All right. Thank you.
Good evening, Board. It's a pleasure to speak with you tonight. I'm just going to give you a quick update. Well, as we've got 6 days under our belts of feeding kids, and it's been an amazing experience as always. Just real quick, free and reduced update. We do have our rollover eligibility from last school year. Will end on September 11th, so I do like to make sure that everyone is aware of that. Schools have applications, they have flyers with the Link Connect QR codes so that we can avoid any disruptions in meal benefits for our students. I've actually been working really closely as well with the social workers, Rachel Duke and her team. I have to echo what Nick had said. Fantastic to work with. They've been helping a lot with getting families to apply who maybe fell off last year and did not reapply. Godot is again covering the reduced price for breakfast and lunch, so covering that 30 cents and 40 cents respectively. So again, we are able to enjoy having all of our free and reduced students not have to pay for their meals for this school year again, and we're hoping that that continues moving forward. As of August 4th, our free and reduced percentages, we are 40.85% free, 10.46% reduced for a total of 51.31%. When I looked at it before I walked over here, it's about the same today. We still have applications coming in. Miss Dean, my procurement specialist, who is still doing a lot of free and reduced applications, processed over 100 that had come in today. So they're still coming in at a very quick rate and hoping to have that number bump up maybe just a little bit to reach those families who need that benefit. And we have a new menu website. Technology did not want to play nice with me, not the people, the actual technology itself. Technology is fantastic. Brett and his team played for a very long time yesterday trying to get to where I could do a live demo last night, but it would look like I was playing the Wii, and we're not going to do that. We did roll out a new menu website on July 28th as part of our Link Suite. Students and parents can actually play with the menu. So the hyperlink that is on the slide will allow you to go in. You can click which allergens you want. If a student is allergic to peanuts, they can click peanuts, and it will read out the item that a student cannot have. Same thing goes for all the major allergens and food preferences. So they can rate. Students can also go in and rate their favorite items and leave feedback. Parents can also opt in to have their menus emailed to them when they are ready. So when I push the menu out to the website, it will send an alert to the parent to say, hey, September's menus are ready for you to view and go over with your children. So I'm very excited about that because it's going to look just amazing once I get all the kinks worked out of it. So, and that's it for me. Any questions?
Well, I'm just curious. I had read about other systems having to increase prices, and I'm so glad we're not right there. But just remind us again about the prices, like for the regular. I'm not talking about free and reduced, but just what is the prices for lunches and breakfast with our kids?
So we are fortunate to be able to maintain our pricing from last year to this year. Breakfast is $1.50 at elementary schools, $1.75 at middle and high, and we are able to do $2.50 for lunch at elementary and $2.75 for middle and high again this year. The only price I had to go up on was adult lunches, unfortunately.
Well, we don't get any money.
No, we do not. No.
So I understand that. But it's still a good deal.
Correct. It went up to $5.
Yeah, well, my golly, they can't go anyplace else to get it.
So they're still at $3 for breakfast and now $5 for lunch.
Yeah, I was delighted that we could hold ours.
Yes, I was as well.
Operational question, how far out do you plan to do this? Is that monthly, weekly?
Not yet, really. Ideally, I plan them out based on seasons. So from August to October, the menus are generally planned out. I don't release them just in case we have a product that gets taken off the bid for whatever reason manufacturer can't produce it. But I usually do August to October, and then November through about March, and then March through May, just to kind of keep up with seasonality and so we can change things up. Because kids get bored. I get bored eating every day, and it's like, oh, okay, I don't want that anymore. So, thank you.
Lots of great information tonight. We do have a need for executive session, so I need a motion for the board to go into executive session. Motion by Mr. Johnson and second by Mr. Wheeler. All in favor? Aye. No opposed? We will see you in a few minutes. session, please? Moved by Ms. Mullin. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Johnson. We are back in session. Okay, we have a personnel items recommended by the superintendent in executive session. Do I have a motion to approve those?
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Johnson, second by Ms. Wheeler. All in favor? Aye. Anything else, Dr. Brown? We are adjourned.